The Moreland House is a very important structure in Bucks County and certainly for the entirety of American history. It was at this house that in August of 1777, George Washington and 11,000 troops camped here on their way to defend the capital city, which was Philadelphia, from the British attack. John Moreland was a successful attorney in Philadelphia. He made enough money to be able to build this stone house out here as a summer retreat for his family. There are a number of important rooms in the house, one of which is John Moreland's office. It would have been the private quarters for the family, and Washington probably would have used this office in order to be able to meet privately with his generals and so forth. In the office here, we have the typical things that you would find. We have a book press, for example, where Moreland would have kept his law library, an English 18th century writing desk, a clock, a case clock, and a backgammon table, which is interesting. Now, the reason we know this is because we do have an inventory that was taken at the time of his death of his possessions. Now, then there was a larger parlor, we call it the Council of War room, which would have been the family's public space. And this would have been where Washington met with groups of individuals. We have the room set up here as if it were for the Council of War, including maps of the area, the Chesapeake Bay and so forth. And here also we have a copy of the minutes of the Council of War meeting that took place here. Also in the Council of War room would be the steps that you would take to go up. There are two bedrooms upstairs, one of which what we today would call the master bedroom, which would have been the Moreland's bedroom. And then there is another bedroom. They had 8 children. The girls probably slept in one room, the boys literally out in the hallway, which is divided. The hearth actually spans the entire width of the house, which is somewhat unusual. It's a state-of-the-art 18th century, 1750s kitchen.
Basically, you'd put these things on the hearth with coals underneath them to keep them warm. The bake kettle would have had ashes on top and on the bottom, or you could hang something over the fire. The simplest of cooking tools. Most of the pans and pots are cast iron. It would have been never-ending work with people getting up first thing in the morning and cooking all day.
One of the reasons why this house is so important is because there are so many important people who were here. For example, some of the generals that people will recognize would have been Nathaniel Greene, who literally was Washington's right-hand man. General Lafayette, who was, by the way, only 19 years old when he came over here. And he, for the first time, took up his duties as a major general in the Continental Army here at the Moreland House at this encampment. This is central Bucks County. It was the best built house in the neighborhood. It provided an ideal location, and also there's a stream with running water, a grist mill, and so as a result, this is where Washington chose to have his headquarters.